The most critical things I have observed that is really, really destroying the destiny of people is to be in a place where you are lost and you are confused. Many a times, this is so underrated, but yet so dangerous. For example, if you are lost and confused about your career, it is detrimental to your ultimate destiny. If you are lost and confused about what business to do, if you feel that you're called to be an entrepreneur, it is detrimental to your destiny. If you are lost and confused about who to marry, that is so detrimental to your destiny. If you are lost and confused about how to improve your finances and advance your wealth building life, that is not good for destiny. Lust and confusion is so dangerous and yet so subtle that many people ignore. It is possible to live a life of confusion and lust for 10 years, and you lose 10 years of your manifestation because you do not know what to do. In this video, I will share with you the pathway to go from lust and confusion to manifesting your greatest destiny. And I will share with you, this is something I discovered from my experience. I used to be confused too. I used to be lost. And as a coach for over 10 years, with experience in coaching people in different countries, I have discovered a framework that will help anyone to go from being lost, confused, to manifesting their greatest success. I can guarantee you from experience, I can guarantee you from the results that I have been able to achieve with the people I work with, if you follow this framework, 6 steps framework, you would never, ever again be confused or lost in your life. Ready? Let's go. The first step in this framework is education. If you are lost and confused, your first step is education. Put on your learning and growth mindset with the goal to diffuse all forms of darkness, loss, and confusion with relevant information and knowledge. Anywhere you see confusion, anywhere you see ignorance, anywhere you see somebody feeling lost, there is absence, zero, or inadequate knowledge about that situation. Understand this. Understand this. Anytime you acquire new knowledge, you are on your way to breaking new boundaries. If you want to advance and break new boundaries, one of the most powerful weapons you can begin to adopt is to learn how to acquire new relevant knowledge. Why is this important? Because knowledge enlightens your path that was once hidden, because there are paths before you. Anytime you're in the midst of confusion and lost, there are paths before you that you cannot see because you're confused and you're ignorant and you're in a dark place. But when you begin to acquire the right relevant knowledge that is useful, those paths, that knowledge will begin to enlighten and help you to see, because knowledge enlightens understanding. And when your understanding is enlightened, you can begin to see the path and the opportunities ahead of you. There is no way you can see new opportunities and new directions with inadequate knowledge or no knowledge. So, fresh insight expands your potentials and lead you to innovative solutions. So, your first step in this framework, anytime you're lost and confused, is education. Seek education. Pay the price for education. This is why the top billionaires, top performers, people who do big stuff, they do not joke with paying experts and coaches and consultants like myself, because they are looking for people that can help them begin to see new pathways from the place of being lost and, of course, being confused. The second step in this framework is execution. When you leave education, you go to execution. While learning answers the point of bringing you from the place of being lost and confused, execution brings you to a whole new level, because execution answers your learning. Implement the concepts you're learning, implement the knowledge you're learning through deliberate practice to solidify understanding. Understanding is never solid without execution. Never forget this. And at this phase of your life, it's okay to be wrong. You are not executing because you're perfect. It is okay to experiment. It's okay to experiment with wisdom and ideas. So, execution brings life to knowledge and ideas. One of the fastest ways you can come out of confusion and loss is for you to start acting on the knowledge and the ideas that you have been generating during the step of learning. You get this? So, deliberate practice fosters mastery. Deliberate practice moves you from point A to point B. So feedback from your action builds clarity. Let me say it again. Feedback from any action that you take in life builds clarity. And when you build this clarity, you begin to guide yourself closer to your ultimate goals and destiny manifestation. After execution, step three in this framework is consistency. Many people stay lost and confused for so long because they lack consistency. While in the midst of executing, consistency should be your best friend. Sustained effort is critical in going to the places you're supposed to go. Maintain a regular effort to achieve long term success and personal growth. Without consistency, forget about progress. Without consistency, forget about progress. Success is not built in sporadic ways or in a magical way. No. Success is built with steady and continuous action. So when you're leaving the place of lust and confusion, sometimes what you're learning and executing, you will not start seeing the results in a few days. Sometimes you will need to consistently learn and execute for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, even 2 years before you leave that place of confusion and begin to see success. There are things that I have done consistently for 3 years before I started seeing the results. As long as I was sure that this is the best step to take, I will be consistent until I begin to see new things. From consistency, the fourth thing is innovative improvement, which is very important. While you are executing, while you are consistent, intentionally improve with innovation in mind. Keep your eye for innovative improvement. Embrace change. Adjust strategies. Strategies when it comes to learning, strategies in execution, strategies in consistency. Embrace change and adjust strategies. This will help you to remain effective, especially in this dispensation where a lot is changing so fast. Stay informed about new development in the area where you want to overcome being lost and being confused. Get new skills and knowledge. So being open to change will foster creativity, will foster solutions beyond conventional methods or beyond what you have been doing. So pay attention to consistently improving in an innovative way, and you will see some change. Number five in this framework is expansion. Intentionally expand. Go for expansion to have significant impact. If you stay small, you will always be lost and confused. But if you want to always live at the highest level, you need to intentionally go for expansion in order to have significant impact. Think expansion. Take actions to expand whatever you're doing. It helps you break barriers. It helps you break your old self. It helps you break your own background. It helps you destroy a lot of things. Think expansion, act expansion, be willing to fail. Why? Expansion unlocks new dimensions of influence and opportunity. You would never unlock new dimensions from where you are if you are not thinking expansion and you are not acting expansion. One of the best ways to expand is to build relationships with people who are not confused and lost like you, but with people who you think that they know what they're doing and they have the right knowledge and experience, and they are achieving results that you are not yet able to achieve. So build relationships because this will open you up to more opportunities and, of course, broaden your own influence. So strategic connections will always multiply your impact. Why? Because new connections will introduce you to two critical things: new perspectives and new resources. And anybody who has access to new perspectives and new resources would never be lost and confused. And in this process of expansion, don't forget, acquire new skills to increase your value. I always fondly say, to go to the next level, acquire the skills that the next level requires. Very important. Lastly, in this framework, repeat the process. Yes, repeat the process from step one right to step five. Any time in your life where you're lost and confused, repeat this process. So when you get lost, when you get confused, go back to education. Go back to step one. Go back to execution. Go back to consistency. Continue the process. Why? Because Life happens in cycle. I like to read history. I like to sometimes read things that happened 500 years ago, 200 years ago. Like, that's weird, right? I know, right? But life happens in cycles. As a believer, I read the Bible a lot. And you can see that in the Bible also. Life happens in cycle. So embrace the continuous journey of learning, executing, and evolving by using this framework. So every phase of confusion is an invitation to rise to a higher version of yourself. Anytime you feel lost, you feel confusion, life is calling you to a higher version of yourself. Success is not finite. That is why lost and confusion should not be your enemy. You should see as the opportunity to be called to the highest level. It is the result of persistent reinvention and growth that will bring you to your new phase in life. So embrace the journey. For every cycle brings you closer to your highest life, to your highest destiny, and to your highest impact. Execute this framework. If you're feeling lost right now, you're feeling confused, I guarantee you, give yourself time. You will see results that you did not imagine that you can produce. Follow the process, respect the process, and trust yourself and see what God will do in you and through you. Keep building. Cheers.